Hello, welcome to the Full Frame with Mark and Ben. I'm Mark. That's Ben, and this is a Full Frame with Mark and Ben. This week, we're in Southampton, underground. So for this video, we teamed up with Experience Hampshire. This isn't really a sponsored video. It's more of a, I met Roger from Experience Hampshire at a networking event, and I said, could we come along to one of your tours and take film photographs? So he set up this tour of the Southampton Vaults for us. So we came along free, and in exchange, sort of, we take some photos and some footage for him, and we made this video.
It's all right.
Going around the vaults, found out that there are about 50 vaults underneath Southampton. I didn't know there were any. So these vaults have been around for about 900 years. When Henry II was on the throne, he imported loads of wine into England for the first time. So before people drank wine, they drank like mead and things like that, like those old-timey kind of drinks. But he imported wine from France in exchange for wool. So the wool would go out and the wine would come in. They needed somewhere to keep it. So in Southampton, there are 50 of these vaults under the ground. We visited about 7 of them. And over the course of like the last 900 years, they've been used for various things. So they've been used to keep livestock in, they've been used to store wool around 500 years ago. And then in recent history, they were used during the war because Southampton was heavily bombed because it's a major port, and they were used for air raid shelters.
Looks really cool, doesn't it?
Well, that. Absolutely chucking it down. Oh my God. Jesus. If you're interested in local history, if you're from around Southampton, definitely go on this tour and definitely speak to Roger about the other tours and other experiences they've got at Experience Hampshire. As I say, this isn't a sponsored video, but they've got loads of interesting stuff going on, and we probably will be going on one again in the future. We have been invited on one, so that's probably something that's going to come up in the next few months. What do you want? Ben, what do you want, Ben?
I think the glasses are 33.
That was the Southampton Vaults.
Yeah.
What was your overall thoughts on the tour, apart from getting absolutely soaking wet?
Oh yeah, that wasn't ideal, but the tour was all right.
That's interesting.
Interesting, yeah, to go down and obviously didn't know that those things were there. You know, yeah, made for some interesting photos, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The worst thing about it was we got absolutely soaked at one point.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous how much it rained, and I was surprised that our cameras didn't get damaged.
Yeah,
I had one of these cameras in there, and it was fine.
Yeah, when I had
Bag.
I had my camera out when it started to really hammer it down, and all I could do was put it in my pocket at that point.
Yeah, we were quite lucky in that our camera survived.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I chose Cinestill 800T, and you chose re-spooled Kodak Vision3 500T. Why did you choose that?
But I knew there would be like, artificial lighting inside the vaults, so the tungsten film just made the most sense, and I had a roll of it.
So I chose 800T because I knew you were choosing that. So I wanted to do something different, and I hadn't shot Cinestill for. I don't think that's the first time I shot it this year. Honestly, I think.
Yeah, it's one of the few. They are the few options for tungsten film. So it would have been probably would have been like quite yellow if we'd have shot like a daylight film.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like another option, I think could have been Ultramax. Would have worked quite well. I didn't really.
But I think it would have been quite yellow with those lights.
I wouldn't want it to do black and white down there because then
I think it'd have been. I think black and white would have been cool actually. There's not a whole lot of colour down there.
Yeah, but we had stuff on the street as well that I think worked quite well with colour. Yeah. So like there was, I quite liked
the stained glass window.
Yeah, stained glass window, and the one at the start with the chair, the tables, as it was getting a bit rainy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With the lights, I think the halations worked quite well on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of your photos overall?
I didn't really like any of them, to be honest.
That's fair enough. Like, we got to be honest.
I wasn't. There was nothing in there that I was like, oh, that's good. A lot of them were quite underexposed, and I was messing around with that. I brought a digital lens with me because the Nikon, the F mount on the Nikons fit. All the lenses will fit, but on the newer lenses, you don't have any control over the aperture, so it's fixed at f/22, which like I was fine with because I had tripod. I knew I was going to be doing long exposures anyway, so I was like, let's just meet her for f/22 and just take photos as normal. And in the vaults, I can't really remember how long they were, but I don't think there was anything longer than like 5 seconds. So that was like fine to shoot, but they did look a bit underexposed. Maybe that was a reciprocity thing. Maybe I should have.
There was a few that I didn't use that I'll show now.
Yeah,
that I think were a bit.
Yeah, there's some that are super grainy, which I think is where the scanner has tried to pull up the shadows. And a lot of the ones that I shot on this wide angle were a bit dark. The other downside with that wide angle is it has savage vignetting as well, which like you can usually like correct in a digital camera, but obviously you can't in the film camera. When you're at like full 12mm, that's the widest it goes. Yeah, the shots looked really cool, but like I just didn't really know how they were going to come out at f/22, So yeah, but I mean that's the first time I've tried using that lens on the FE, so I know now that I probably need to like overexpose a little bit with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think like with the Vaults as well, they were quite similar. Although like some of them had like different stories. So like on the tour, I think it'd be quite interesting. But like for photographs, it was like they're quite similar looking. So it was hard to try and get different.
I think the
stuff
last one was pretty big, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and that was some of the better photos of the Vaults because they just looked really like long. Yeah, you're right. They were pretty similar. And
I think like trying to shake out with stuff we were getting like on the streets as we were going as well. So like the first half we were kind of soaked, so we didn't really have any options.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, I did really like it wasn't like a photo I'd post, but I thought it was quite a cool photo like to show the group. Was I went down a couple steps and like shot a photo of the tour group, kind of from the level of the floor, and I just thought that looked quite. I thought I'd really like that photo. Like as a to show like the tour group basically, and like it's just a weird like perspective of it. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I did outside of the Vaults. We did a few.
So we did that.
You had a really nice light trail one.
Yeah. So there was like some bikes passing. So there was a few like little bits of light here and there. But then I think I had a big van or a big car pass.
Yeah, mine.
So that was a huge like light trail.
We both got a picture of that house. Yours had a light trail in it, and mine had a woman like taking a photo of the building, which was funny.
And then your stained glass one, I thought was good.
Yeah,
it was straighter than mine.
Oh right.
Mine had like a bit of a puddle with a reflection in a puddle.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there was like some. It was nice to be out. Like it was slightly different for us because usually we just go out by ourselves.
Yeah, it was a shame about the weather because I think like we could have done a better job there.
Yeah,
and like especially you with the video, like we could have video wise, it could have been better as well if the weather wasn't so
just
bad.
about protecting equipment at certain points.
Yeah, definitely. But that's what's great about the GoPros, isn't it? Like we can at least make something, and not have to worry about them.
Ben, you've got some prints. Tell me about your prints.
I do. Well, I've signed up to this new sort of website called Front.
Sounded a bit dodgy.
That does sound dodgy. Yeah, I was trying to think does it have like a name? I don't know. It's just a website called Front where you can sell your prints and they kind of fulfill everything. You just post your print on there and then they take a cut and send a print. So
we've been talking to them about coming onto the podcast.
Yeah. I would recommend having a look at my prints and buying some, but also if you're a photographer and you want to sell your prints, I would definitely go sign up. It's just cool, isn't it? Yeah. It's nice to be able to have somewhere where people can buy them, because you never know, people might be interested.
In my case, it's nice to have somewhere for my mum to go and maybe buy one of my prints.
Or to have someone say, I'd buy that, and then you go, well, I've got this place, and then they don't go and buy it, which is you.
But I bought one.
Yeah, but not
because you were standing over my shoulder making
You were literally
my hand was shaking.
You literally said, I'd buy this one, and I went and put that one on there, and you didn't go and buy it.
I've since bought it when you
no, you didn't. It was the cup in the puddle photo.
Okay, but
you were like, that cup in the puddle, I would buy that. And I was like, all right, I'll put it on the website. And you didn't.
I'll buy it.
I called your bluff. I called your bluff.
Don't take it off. I will buy it.
I think I have, but it's still on there, but I've unpublished it. So
I bought one. Enjoy your money.
Thank you. £12.
£12. Ben could get £12 if you buy one of his prints.
That's all right. That's like Ultramax, isn't it? Like a 24 exposure roll of Ultramax.
Well, this time next year, that's like a roll of Kentmere 400.
Probably, yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment if you're able. Of course, buy Ben's prints, and we'll see you next time for more exciting and sexy adventures on film. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.